Well, what's good, ladies and gentlemen? This is the Listen Doctor Radio, bringing you guys a brand new story today. I'm not gonna have any music played. I'm not gonna do any fancy talking. I'm gonna get directly to it. I'm pissed the fuck off. As you can tell, the title of the show, you should know why I'm pissed the fuck off. I'm pissed the fuck off. I'm heated. I'm heated because of two particular things. The way we live in society right now, how men are being basically used as examples for anytime something happens in the workplace, anytime something happens when it comes to a man and a woman liking each other, or any type of fucking incidents where you have a guy and a woman have a consensual relationship, and that woman decides for any reason she doesn't want to be with him anymore, she can say he raped me, and that man has to be looked at as a person that raped her or some type of shit like that. In this case, it had nothing to do with that. Just bringing up instances that happens in these types of news. But actually what happened with the Boston Celtics head coach, Udoka, him and a female staff member had a mutual relationship, inappropriate relationship, and in result of that, Udoka was suspended for a year with a pay reduction. And in that year, he can't coach for any team because the Boston Celtics still have him under contract. And people think that's okay. Now, I'm not sitting up here making no excuses for the head coach, my head coach of the Boston Celtics. I'm not sitting up here making no excuses for him. He has a beautiful, talented superstar that he's in a relationship with, that he has a baby with, by the name of Miss Nia Long, from the Players Club. I mean, from Friday, from the movie The Holiday, Best Man. You know Miss Nia Long. He's in a relationship with Miss Nia Long, and they've been together for a while now. They have a child together. Even if you look underneath the title of his stuff, they title her as his partner. He has a relationship with Miss Nia Long, the actress. Why would you throw that away for a female staff of yours? Is what some people might be asking. Why would you throw your career away in coaching for a female staff of yours? It makes no fucking sense. I'm ticked the fuck off. Because I have been a Boston Celtics fan ever since I can remember. My favorite team ever, being in me knowing basketball, was the Boston Celtics and the Chicago Bulls. I liked the Chicago Bulls for a minute, but then I kind of went away from the Chicago Bulls, and I became a Boston Celtic. I've been a Boston Celtic forever. I've been there through the worst times, the droughts of not going to the playoffs, the times we had Ray Allen and the greatest team to me, put on the floor of Boston Celtics. To me, the whole Ray Allen and Paul Pierce squad, I've been there for everything. I've been there for the years that we didn't make it to the playoffs, that we got bounced out by Miami twice. I've been there. This is crazy. And what some people like me are asking, why are we not hearing about the women? Now, You got some people that's saying we shouldn't have to hear about the woman. He made the decision to date these women. He did that. He knew he was the head coach. He shouldn't have did that. But the women who benefited sexually, money, whatever, being with him, whatever, they benefited from him. They have what? Nothing happens to them. Nobody was suspended. You heard the owner of the Celtics say he's the only one that has any consequences out of this whole situation. Now you got people online saying all kind of stuff. I'm going to read actually what happened on Twitter. And I'm going to show you guys what I'm pissed off about today. What actually happened on First Take. And because of Stephen A., he said it. But I'm going to say what he couldn't say. Because I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. I'm going to do what he couldn't say. I'm going to say what the fuck he couldn't say. But this is what the report said. Mr. Udoka has a relationship with not one but two staff members. One deleted all social media accounts. The other turned off her comments on her IG. Both are married. Both of the women that he supposedly had been sleeping with are married. I want to say that again. Both of the women that he was sleeping with were married. That makes him look even worse as well. You're sleeping with married men. You're sleeping with married women. When you have a fine-ass woman named Nia Long sitting right there. See, and that's what pisses me off as black men. He's a black man and he gives black men a bad rep. Because they always say black men cheat. And if you got a good woman, why should you cheat? But then a lot of people were saying, well, we don't know what him and Nia Long got going on. He could just be there strictly for the child. You're right. She could be an asshole to him. You're right. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I don't give a fuck about none of that. When you sleep with a married woman, if this is true, you breaking up somebody else's home. That's why I have a problem with. Two of them. They said one is actually married to the senior vice president in the Celtics organization who wanted a year suspension. The president of the fucking basketball team, the vice president of the basketball team, you were smashing this man's wife. If this is true, if we're supposed to believe the article that was put on Twitter from them, that is true. He is lucky, like Stephen A. and everybody else said, that he's not fired. But I, being a Celtics fan, would have wished they would have fired him. And I'm going to tell you why. Because now you leave doubt in everybody's minds. Everybody in Boston Celtics, the fans. You leave everybody in limbo. Now, what's going to happen next year when he comes back? He's going to be in the right mind to take the team to a greater... He might have the mentality, not saying that he will. He might have the mentality to say, you know what? I'm not going to coach as hard next year. Fuck them. Fuck the Celtics. I'm going to lose every game on purpose. I'm going to not want to put enough effort to take the team to where they got to go. Not saying that he will. I don't think he would do that because they would hurt him to get another opportunity somewhere else. But you got people saying that though. You got some fans in Boston saying that though. I just sat here and listened to a whole story on Boston Celtics Globe because I'm not in Boston. I watched somebody at Boston talk about it. I watched them talk about with the fans that's in Boston how they feel about it. A lot of the fans are ticked the fuck off like I am, and they're in Boston. They didn't shook this man's hand. I'm pissed off, man. This is not right. Then they say both of the women appeared to have a consensual sexual relationship with him. Nothing was illegal. Boston doing this less shocking appearance for an entire season. You'd think at this point they will move on from him, but after winning the NBA championship, they're going to be holding on to him. Is what they basically said. So basically what Boston did was, we don't want to fire you because you're a good ass coach. We're going to suspend you for a year, take away your pay for you for a year, but then next year we're going to hire you back and let you come back and coach maybe. That makes no fucking sense whatsoever. And I'm pissed off, and you should be too. If you are a man out there, you should be pissed off what I'm about to show you. Because it's always some, and I'm going to say what Stephen A. wanted to say. Because you know we deal with shit over here the right way. It's always some bitch that want everything to be about women. Put the shoes on the other foot. If he was being sought out by them, would they get fired or suspended? I think not. Would he have the authority to fire them? I think not. Without some type of bullshit happening. But because he's a black man, he has to be looked at like this. It's very hard for black men to get coaching jobs in the NBA, in the NFL, anywhere, in any sport. We are being looked at as we can't lead men, we cannot lead people, so we shouldn't be in leadership roles. And that's why I'm pissed off that he did this, because now it makes other organizations believe that black men is just going to do this shit. But like Stephen A. said, and there's so many others, he's not the only fucking coach that's doing this. He's the one that got caught. He's not the only person in the organizations that's doing this. He's the one that got caught. You have so many organizations that do this. Hell, in the restaurant business, in the hotel business, in the hospital business, it's women and men sleeping together. That shouldn't, because they are fucking co-workers. Especially at my job when I was working at Domino's as a manager, we had so many managers sleeping with each other. Some of them were married, sleeping with each other. It happens, my nigga. It happens. But a suspension for a whole fucking year? He can't work nowhere? That's fucked up. And now the fans are going to be looking like, you want to give us this assistant coach and put him in the books. He has no experience as a coach, but you want to give us him. And then if the season turned out to be a failure and we don't go nowhere, what, you going to fire Mr. Udoka? Who would want to go coach for the Celtics? I'm a Celtics fan. I want y'all to understand this. I'm a Celtics fan. They can say, hey, Doc, come work for the Celtics. We'll give you a house. We'll give you a $2 million salary. You never coached in your life. We'll give you a $2 million salary. We'll pay your rent for a year. And we'll fly you to Boston and your whole family. I wouldn't take the fucking job. And I'm a Celtics fan. And that would be a big what? As a Celtics fan, I'm coaching my team? That's like the movie Eddie with Whoopi Goldberg when she was able to coach the team of the Knicks. That's a fucking dream. I wouldn't do it. Because I would think that's what's going to happen to me. I'm not saying I would sleep with another woman on the court or something like that. But if something just happens to say a woman don't like me or don't like what I said, she can go and say, hey, Mr. Shell was trying to come at me the wrong way. Then y'all knew about this for months now. Why are we just hearing about it? And another fucking thing that's pissing me off. Why is it everybody's fucking business? It shouldn't be our business what happened to two consensual adults. If the story is true, that is the vice president's wife, you shouldn't be mad at him. You should be mad at your fucking wife. Let's be honest. Your wife stepped out, bro. What is he gonna do? If the report says what it is, that Nia Long and Udoka are not really in a relationship, they're just there for their child. If that's what it is, he's a single man. You don't think he's gonna turn down some for JJ? You would think he would have the willpower to say, nah, she's married, I'm not gonna do that. But in the heat of the moment, man, shit happens, bro. It happens. And you have to be an adult about it. It happens. It happens in the real world. But this shit, I'm not feeling it. And I'm not feeling what happened on First Take this morning. I'm not feeling what happened on First Take this morning. Stephen A had to show Miss Malika Anderson who the fuck he was. How you gonna go on somebody else's show, talk about a situation, and try to talk to him like he's a child? 10 minutes right quick. I want y'all to listen to this shit.
And there's no NDA involved.
Listen to
he
it.
Just sat up there and basically told the world, he's ours, but we ain't gonna use it.
And they didn't give parameters of what it would take to reinstate.
They gave no parameters of what it would take for reinstatement. They didn't specify what punishment they gave him beyond suspending him for the year. Is he getting his salary for this upcoming season? Has it been cut in half? I told he's only getting about 50% of it. Has that been cut in half?
Characterized as a significant financial penalty.
So you got that going on. And I'm going to say this again. It said in the numerous news reports, it was a consensual relationship that violated organizational policy. So only he is in violation of the company policy. The woman who elected to have a consensual relationship with him is not in violation. He gets to get mentioned and put on Front Street. We don't know who she is. What about the other women within the Celtics organization who have been victimized because wrong assumptions have been made by their involvement? If you knew exactly who it was, that would alleviate the concerns of the other women who have had their names paraded out into the streets. What about them? You ain't thinking about that. So here we are, we're throwing him out to pasture. And again, Ime Udoka cannot be defended. His actions are his actions. Nobody fights for black coaches more than me. But I am telling you, a firing would have been warranted. Or you keep him. But to keep him, yet suspend him, by the way, not just suspend him, but for the suspension to be indefinite.
It's almost worse like a late justice.
That's what you did. You ruined his career for the next few years. He did it.
I think we have NBA reporter and host of NBA Today, our friend Malika Andrews. Malika, do you have us?
I've got you, Molly. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. And obviously you had the statement from Udoka that was given to you. What's your reaction now after hearing the press conference?
Well, Molly, thank you. If I could first start with this. Stephen A., with all due respect, this is not about pointing the finger. Stop. What became apparent to me in this press conference is that we do not have all of the information here. And it was frustrating to me that the Celtics declined to elaborate or to give more specifics about what exactly the rule breaking was that led us to this point. So that, I just want to get that out of the way first. But to answer your question, Molly, I think what stood out to me I think what stood out to me is that Brad Stevens, he was upset. That's what stood out to me about what he termed rampant Twitter BS is the word that he used, that women were unfairly dragged into this within the Celtics organization. You could see that Brad Stevens was visibly upset about this. And I also found that to be gross and unnecessary, that folks were bringing in the names and the images of women that is just not a fact. That was purely speculation. And so to me, that is what stood out. But the Celtics as an organization could have done more, and short of doing more ahead of this yesterday, they could have owned that responsibility in this press conference. I understand that there were legal parameters that they had to operate within for everybody involved, and I appreciate the fact that they brought in outside counsel and did a thorough organization. And I think that that is something that was clearly necessary in this situation. But the fact that it was able to go on all day, the fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired, or he deserves to be there and handle it internally and privately. If you're not going to handle it privately, if you're going to publicize it in that fashion, then obviously it provokes everybody wanting to know, okay, well, who are the parties involved? When you have Amina Smith in Boston and other women pointing out the fact that there were women who were wrongly implicated in all of this, it's a disservice to them. I didn't come out with the report about a consensual relationship. I didn't come out with the report ahead of time leaking that they were going to suspend him for the year. They did that. And my point is, considering how pervasive this kind of stuff has existed in professional sports for many years, my whole point is that, excuse me, make sure that you handle it in the same fashion it has always been handled. You could have fired him, and then we could have speculated till the cows come home, but he's gone. But to keep him there, keep him employed, but in the same breath, suspend him for a year, then also that year is indefinite. That is the issue that I have. Nobody's trying to protect Ime Udoka, and certainly nobody is trying to protect, is to excoriate the women involved or anything like that. I'm talking about how things of this matter are usually handled from an HR perspective, from an organizational perspective. That is not consistent with what we have seen throughout the years. That is the only point that I was trying to make. I'm not trying to attack anybody. And if anybody deserves to be attacked, it's Ime Udoka for putting himself in this position. I've made that very clear. I'm just talking about you got owners and everybody else. They know the kind of stuff that's going on. You didn't say anything about anybody else. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about them. They didn't say anything about everybody else all the other times this stuff has happened. But now when it comes to him, it's all over the place. That is my issue. That is my only issue.
Alright. I'm glad he read her fucking rights. But I'm going to say what he wanted to say. Bitch, who the fuck do you think you talking to? Miss Malika? Huh, Miss Malika? Who the fuck do you think you talking to? To come on this man's show that he paid the time to let your ass come on. To talk to this man like that. Like he was a child. Steven, stop. He's not your fucking child. He's not your fucking brother. He's not your fucking cousin. You telling another grown man to stop. Like he was blaming the woman for what happened. He didn't blame the women for what happened. He said simply, if you want to put this man out here, the bitches should be put out too. They should get fired too. It was a consensual relationship. If it wasn't consensual and he was sexual harassing them, he should be fired and charges should be put on him. I'm a Celtics fan and I'm saying that, Miss Malika. And I'm calling y'all out your name because you came up here talking to another black man like he was talking, like he was trying to say that what he did was right. Nobody believes what this man did was right. But I dare you come to this man's shit and talk to him that way. He's the reason why let's just be honest. Can we? He's the reason why your black ass is on ESPN. Let's be honest. Because at one part of the time, it was a fucking man's job. And that's the fucking problem when it comes to women in society today. You bitches, for some of you, forget who put y'all in the positions to even be on TV.
Appreciate that.
It's men who put y'all in these positions to be on TV. It's men who lie to us and say y'all do a good job in the media. Because your bitch ass would be in the locker room talking to football players, not getting a chance to get on TV. Let's just be honest. Then you black at that. You know how hard it is for black women to get on TV? It was majorly hard. Now you sitting up here on this man's shit. He produces and writes First Take. You sitting on this man's shit. He's co-producer of this show. Been on this show for years. Talking to this man like that. We ain't gonna blame the woman. Who can we blame then? So what if the shoes was on the other fucking foot? And he was the one that was telling these women, I don't want to do these relationships with y'all. And they kept trying to come at him. Huh? He got more to lose than they do. And right is right. If we are going to blame him, rightfully so, he shouldn't have been messing with these people, knowing he's a head coach of a team, my team, the Celtics. He knew what would have happened to him. He still did it. And if the reports is what they're saying, it was over months. And they said the fucking Celtics told him to leave those women alone. And he continued to keep messing with those women. If that's the reports, he deserves more than what he got. He deserves to be fired. And I'm a Celtic fan. I love him as a coach. I think he did an awesome job last year. He should be fired. Then, if another team wants to take him on with the troubles that he has, they have a right to do so. But because Boston didn't fire him, he has to stay there for a year, not fucking coach, not have any income coming in, and then decide to come back next year. And if y'all let him come back, and y'all might fire him, then he has to fucking get his wits together and find another job. I think that's fucked up. And if that is the doings of the vice president, they got mad that your wife stepped out, maybe you need to give that bitch some divorce papers. That's what you need to do. Give us some divorce papers, my nigga. Get your shit together. Where your nuts at, bro? Or tell Udoka, hey, ain't no firing. Be real with him. Ain't no firing, bro. Ain't no suspension. We gonna go in this locker room and we gonna fucking fight. That's what we gonna do. You win, you got your job. I win, you fired. That's what you gonna do. You embarrass me. You got people thinking that I can't keep my wife in line. You got people believing all this shit about my wife. Why you was coming in? Like, that's what you do, my nigga. You're, come on, man. We ain't kids. If you ain't trying to do that, shut the fuck up with it. Why this shit in the fucking news, man? The season about to start next week, and we gotta worry about a fucking coach having a relationship, a consensual relationship with another female employee on his staff. And for Miss Malika to go on First Take and do what she did, I'm glad everybody took a picture. I'm glad everybody recorded it. I'm glad everybody showed people your true colors. You came out on First Take that Stephen A. Smith has allowed you to come on. You didn't even say hello to this man. You didn't even say hello. You say hello to Molly. You say hello to Molly. You didn't even say hello to this man. Because you thought he was taking up for the man. Ain't no blaming here. That's what you said, Stephen A. Ain't no blaming. Stephen A. didn't blame at all. He said, if it's going to be that way, we should know who the fuck the person is. So the public can decide to see, because that's what it is, right? He's guilty in the public eye. Because now the whole world is going to believe it's going to be doing this for the rest of the season. Wait a minute. Who was the woman? Was it the coach's? Was it any one of the coach's daughters? Was it the coach's wife, the assistant coach? Was it the owner's wife? Who was it? Was it the owner's daughter? Who was it? That's what the whole fucking world is going to be doing. People like me, independent journalists, going to come up here and do stories all year and see why. Why? Because at one part, you remember that they said that Stephen A. Smith and Molly had a relationship together? And then they debunked that? And you ain't hear nothing about it again? But First Take didn't go on TV and say anything about it. ESPN didn't go on there and say anything about it. Did they? Fuck no. Fuck no. And I'm hot, and I don't care what one of y'all say. Why you calling out her name? I am calling out her name. I don't give no fucks. When you sit on this man's show and try to attack this man like that, you should know some shit coming for you. And I'm being nice to you. Niggas who know me know I'm being nice right now. I'm really being nice. But it's fucked up. Listen to this shit again. Listen to the last part. Look how she tried to talk to this man. On his show. What kind of shit is that?
Being publicized. The point that but email.
Ended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not listening. Excuse me. I listen to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one.
First of all, that's number one. It ain't happening. You gonna tell me to stop on my show. Bitch, this is my show. It's First Take, starting Stephen A. Smith. Not starting Molly. Not starting the producer who owns it, who made it. Not starting Skip Bayless. It is Stephen A. And for you to say what you said, you don't really fuck with Stephen A. Because Stephen A, anybody knows. Stephen A is bigger. Who do he rep mostly for, ladies and gentlemen who watch him? If you watch Stephen A. Smith, who do this man rep for? the most? Who do this man ref for the most? I want to see if you guys will put it in the comments. Who this man ref for the most? Because this shit, for you to believe that you can go up here and say that, you don't know Stephen A. You don't know him. You don't know him. Exactly. Black men and women. And not just black men and women. Women, period. The man has nothing but sisters. His older sister, Carmen, and his other sister. He rep for sisters. He rep for women. He rep for black men, black coaches, black leaders. If they earn their fucking dues, they should be leaders. When everything happens in this world right now, with all the women that's happening around the world, he sits up there, and it's not a debating show. It's not a debating show. It's a sports show. He sits up there and put time on for to talk about issues when they happen to women. That's what Stephen A. Smith does. I don't agree with everything that he says. And I don't agree with everything that he does. But I cannot disagree with that. He does do that. And for you to go online on this man's show today and talk to him that way, that was fucked up. And I believe everybody who watches NBA Today need to call you out on it. Because that was fucked up. And I don't know what the hypocrisy or the tension that you have for this man, the anger that you have for this man today. But it was not wanted. Because he didn't do a damn thing. He wasn't the person out there sleeping with those women. He has a job to do. Talk about it the same way you guys doing. Because it's a sports related subject. And it shouldn't be. But it's a sports related subject. Because it happened to the Boston Celtics. And he was only saying what he felt. The same way your bitch ass is going to take the whole first beginning of the show on first take. I mean, the same way your bitch ass is going to take the whole beginning of fucking NBA Today to talk about it. That's what he did. And men, I want y'all to see what's going on in the world right now, black men. We are being victimized, bro. We can't do anything right. Whoa, what up, bro? What up? What's good with you? Deshaun, I'm back in the building, man. You know we going back strong, bro. What's good with you, man? I really appreciate you. Everybody say hello to my dog Deshaun in the building. Been rocking with me for a minute, man. Y'all check him out, man. You know what I mean? Appreciate you, D, in the chat. I appreciate you, brother. But the people that's gonna watch this on the replay, man, I want y'all to understand something. This young lady came at Stephen A. Smith so wrong on this man's show. Listen to this last part, and it's just crazy.
First of all, let me be
go on all day. The fact that we are sitting here debating whether somebody else should have been suspended or not, we are not here, Stephen A., to further blame women. That is not why we are here.
First of all, let me be very clear. I don't appreciate where you're going with that. I'm not blaming anybody but Ime Udoka. He deserves, the fact of the matter is, I've said he deserved to be fired if they were going to fire him. If you're not going to fire him, then don't fire him. My issue is all of this being publicized. The point that I'm trying to make is just like you're not mentioning. Excuse me. I listened to you. You're the one telling me to stop on my show. It ain't happening. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I've already said he deserves to be fired or he deserves what to...
Exactly. That's just prime and simple, man. I don't like how you did that. And that was really nice, Miss Malika. I really wanted to call you all kind of names. That was really nice. And you can get mad about it. You can say whatever the fuck you want. But I don't work for nobody. I work for myself. I can't get fired. I can't. The worst thing that happened to me, my channel get taken away. I'll make another one. Doesn't matter to me. I'm an independent journalist. I don't have to read a teleprompter telling me what to say. I can say what the fuck I want to say. I'm going to tell you what Stephen A. wanted to say. Show fucking respect the next time you get on First Take. Or you might be missing from ESPN. I don't think y'all know how much pull Stephen A. has on ESPN. He has a lot of pull. Your bitch ass will be working for a small TV channel in your town. Keep fucking around with Stephen A. And that's not a threat. I've seen it happen to numerous of people that came on First Take. Numerous of people that came on ESPN. That man put in the dues and put in the time and the effort in the fucking way that he does First Take is unmatched. You watch First Take just to see him hollering. That's that man's trademark. You see, that's that man's trademark. That's what made him who he is. People watch First Take. We ain't watching First Take to see they talk about sports. We watching First Take to see this man go off on somebody. Them sorry ass Cowboys. So when you sit up here talking to this man like that, understand that you show this man no respect. Why should we show you respect? Thank you for the people that recorded this. Thank you. Because I recorded it, but my shit fucked up and I couldn't get the whole thing. But this is really shitty. And you need to be called out on it. And like he said, the women need to be taken care of too. Because they were married and they had a relationship with another man, and that man happens to be their fucking boss. But nothing happened to them. But he's suspended for a whole year. And that's supposed to be okay. It's wrong. And I'm a Boston Celtics fan. He should be fired. He should be fired. Not next year, to this year. And that's the bottom line. But you fucked over the Celtics. Because you didn't fire him, everybody on the Celtics are not going to know what to do, what to say, how to speak. The team is going to be in limbo for a whole year. And then that pisses me off because I thought it was our year this year. I thought it was our year. I'm a die green. It's in my fucking blood. I'm originally from Boston. I love Boston Celtics. But the owner and everybody in that organization, you got this wrong. This is the first time in my life that I can say I'm really ashamed to be a Boston Celtics fan. I'm really ashamed to be a Boston Celtics fan. And it's not because of what he did. It's because of the response of what he did. You could have fired him. And you didn't. And now this shit's going to be going on for a whole year. People are going to talk about this. And it's unfair to the women. And it's unfair to him. It's unfair to his family. And it's unfair to people that pay their dollars, fans, to go watch this. Because now, we all going to be in limbo. Worrying about what's going to happen when he comes back. And that's the warning thing that Stephen A. was trying to say. He should be fired. And I'm going to say it again. He should be fired for what he did. I'm a grown-ass man and I'm saying it. And I'm a Celtics fan. Now, how painful it is for me to say that. My coach that I like should be fired. He should be fired. If Sean Payton on the Saints would have done the same shit he done, he would have been fired. He should have been fired. Matter of fact, Sean Payton was suspended for a year and a half for the bounty game that he had nothing to do with. His defensive coach was over that. But he was fired. And it didn't take a whole week to figure it out. Months to figure it out. They fired him. They suspended him and they let him go. That's what you do. He was able to go coach his son's football team during that time. He was able to take a vacation with his family. It worked out fine for Sean Payton. Because he was fired. Not just suspended. Shame on you motherfuckers for that, Boston. Thank you guys for watching this, man. I really appreciate it. Thank you for the people that showed up. For the people that's going to watch this on the replay. Thank you guys. Continue to keep subscribing. Continue to keep coming for the truth. But I'm going to tell you what Stephen A. wanted to say. Next time you come on First Take, show some fucking respect for that man. You talking to that man like he a little boy or something. Stephen A. make more than you and every other bitch on that fucking sports show that you work for. That man put in the dues on the time to do that. Show that fucking man his respect, man, next time. Miss Malika. He's the reason why your black ass got a job on ESPN. Miss Malika. Because it ain't because of your talent. Miss Malika. Fuck. Appreciate you guys for coming. I see you guys when I see you. Alright, ladies and